Hey, everybody, welcome back to another episode of Living the Sweet Life. I'm your host, TJ Sweet, and on this podcast, I'm going to be talking about different ways that can help you reshape your mindset, live with intention, and look at the world through a grateful lens. So this week, I want to talk a little bit about living with intention. But first, I want to express my gratitude to all of you for listening, for supporting, for providing topics that you want me to dive into. Again, I'm inspired by you, and the support that I'm getting is allows me to continue to do this podcast for free, whether it's on YouTube or on a standard podcast platform that you're choosing to take in this content. Just know that I appreciate you and that you're making a difference in my life and in the lives of the people that you share it with. I've had a lot of people reach out to me recently saying that they're sharing these episodes with other people now. And that really is what we can do for each other, is be a multiplier. So I've been mentored and coached in my life. And now my goal, my mission, my purpose, we'll talk a little bit about that, is to really share those pieces of information, those resources I have, the thoughts that I've been able to utilize in my life, and really understanding the power of our words and our actions. And so just know that you sharing them matters. It helps me, obviously, as far as sharing this message with more people, but it also makes a difference in the people in the lives that you get to share this with. And so the first thing I want to talk a little bit about today is about living with intention, like I alluded to earlier, and an activity that I've done that has really kind of helped me kind of do things with alignment, develop habits, create a mindset, kind of think about day to day, like how do I want to craft each day. But it's about kind of crafting this personal mission statement. And it's not going to sound as clunky and businessy as it really is as we get into it, but it really is just, if we're not careful, we'll get on cruise control and we'll just kind of respond to life or maybe react to life as it comes. And then oftentimes we kind of lose ourselves and lose what ignites the soul, or, brings us joy, brings us passion. We start to lose the intention of doing some of those things because we get so caught up in our task list and just doing things in the world that we lose ourselves. And so I wanted to kind of pour back into some encouraging words to maybe think about, like, what impact do you want to have in the lives of the people that you love and you're the most grateful for, because that's what inspires me every single day. I'm continuously learning and growing as a person, but how to show up for the people that I love and that I'm the most grateful for. And so that's kind of part of my mission statement a little bit, but it's also it's my driving force for what I do, for what time I wake up, for what I eat, for how I take care of myself, and the exercises that I do, the books I read. It all is with intention. And so that's why I wanted to share a little bit more about that today. And so really, like I said, being caught up in the day-to-day life can sometimes make you lose yourself, lose who you are, because it's just a matter of getting through the day instead of growing through the day. But really, living with intention kind of aligns more of your daily actions with your aspirations, with your goals, with your dreams, who you want to be, how you want to feel. But that leads to a more fulfilling and purposeful life, because we start to get this sense of growth again once we start living with intention. You may not be doing more or less things once you live with intention, but once you understand there's purpose behind what you do, you feel like you get to do those things instead of feel like you have to do those things. And so, again, this personal mission statement that I'm going to talk about today is really about kind of defining who you are, what you want to be doing, what goals do you have, what kind of life do you want to be living, and why. Because oftentimes we don't get super inspired by something that just impacts us. And there are very few things that just impact us as individuals. But when we get really inspired is when we can attach purpose and meaning. And sometimes it is things that we do in our own lives, but purpose and meaning to the people that we love and people we're the most grateful for, and maybe the world, your community, whatever it may be. And so, again, this personal mission statement is really just a simple It's kind of a recenter, a refocus around goals you have, values that mean something to you, and the principles that kind of guide your life that help you make decisions. Maybe your identity. What words are you saying about yourself? Is it who you used to be, or is it who you are? That's what this mission statement can do. But it can also help you realize who you actually want to be again, and provides this sense of clarity and direction. And it's this constant reminder to keep the important things as the important things, and what matters to you needs to stay as the important things. And so I'll just kind of run through a couple reasons why the mission statement, if you will, kind of why this declaration really matters and what it can do for you. So the first thing is, it really provides a great sense of clarity and focus, helps you kind of define whatever success may mean to you, so that you stop comparing to other people. You start comparing to who you were yesterday, or it really kind of makes sure, provides that clarity around who are you now, who do you want to be, what kind of relationship do you want to have, whatever it may be. But what are those things that you're doing on a routine basis that are aligned with that, right? And there's this really great quote of, decide what you want and say no to everything that doesn't help you get what you want. So the second thing is decision making. So once you understand who you are and what you want, it really kind of serves this decision making. This statement serves as a compass and aligns, make sure that your choices you're making today are going to get you closer to where you want to be tomorrow. This is a day by day process here. And the third thing it can do is also serve as motivation, right? It inspires you, motivates you, because when our motivation's high, our energy's high, we use different words about who we are, about what's capable, what's possible. But during challenging times, we need to be reminded of what we're capable of. And so, challenging times are going to come, but having a plan for those things, for those moments that are going to come in your life, is critical. And sometimes this statement of who you want to be, what you want to be doing, who you want to be with, how do you want to be spending your time, it can help you realize that this too shall pass during a challenging time. But it reminds you of your purpose, the bigger purpose, the purpose in your own life, and the purpose of the life of the people that you're grateful for and the people that you love. And then lastly, this is probably one of the most important things it can do, is this mission statement. It really provides a great sense of balance by prioritizing what's truly important to you. Because if everything's important to you, then nothing's important to you. So there has to be some sort of sense of balance. We have to be able to say no to certain things. But once we understand the direction we want to go, saying no feels better than just saying no out of confusion or lack of time or whatever it may be. But when you start to make choices, they start to feel less like sacrifices. Okay. So now just kind of a quick, and this is going to seem pretty self-explanatory, but I just very high level want to kind of walk you through. If you are interested in creating this mission statement, I want to walk you through that as far as the very simple steps. And so the first thing is, reflect on what matters the most to you. What kind of life do you want to be living? What kind of core values matter the most? What are some things that you want to exude as a person to the people around you? The second thing is, identify some goals that you have. What are your aspirations? What is something, whether it's a significant milestone in life, an accomplishment in life, or maybe just how do you want to be making a difference in the lives of the people around you? But what are some long-term goals? And I heard a great person the other day say, he actually owns a gym, and he was talking about how whenever people come to sign up for a gym, he asks them the simple question of, if for over the next 10 years, what does it matter if you're in good shape for the next 6 weeks? So that's really just pointing at the fact of, let's set goals that we're more focused on becoming than we are just being. Think about who we need to become to be, at that finish line or accomplish that goal, whatever that is. And so, kind of don't think about just what do you need to do in the next 2 weeks to get to where you want to go. Think about, maybe it's week by week or day by day, but think about, how do you sustain the progress to accomplish the goal, but then also maintain the goal. Now, the next thing, the next step of the process of developing one of these is really kind of step back and think about, what are your gifts? What are your strengths? What things do you love to do? What are things that are energy giving when you do them? Be aware of what's energy taking versus energy giving. When you get excited and you can sense it, I love doing these podcasts. I love getting to have conversations with the people that I'm the most grateful for and that I love. And so just, it's understanding, recognizing when your energy is high. Think about that and then how you can use that energy to make a difference in the world. But then also, uh, a word that I've been using a lot in my life with my circle is legacy. What kind of legacy do you want to leave behind? Life is short. We're not going to be here forever, but we can do something today that will make a difference in the lives of the people around us for today, for tomorrow, and for years to come. How do you want to be remembered by family, friends, and your community and the people that you love? How do you want to be remembered? And there's a really great quote that has really kind of honestly, it spoke to me. I needed to hear it once because I was putting so much pressure on, so much value is probably the better word, on being, as well known or as famous as other people throughout my career. And really, I heard this quote once, and it changed my life. It transformed my life, my perspective of success. But the quote was, "Be more famous at home than you are in public." And that's so true because I know at the end of the day, I'm going to want to be uh, more present, and I'm going to think about more moments with the people that I love and I'm the most grateful for than I ever will of any stage that I get to be on, or no matter how much I get to travel the world. If it means that I don't get to show up and be present in the home that I get to be in, then I'm not interested. I've been able to learn that lesson without losing or damaging the people that I get to have in my life now. And so I'm grateful for that. So just think about that in the sense of, if you're giving everything you have to your work, and then whenever you get home, just understanding that those are the people that you're going to wish you had more time with, those people that love you and support you and challenge you and all the things. And so consider the legacy, consider how you want to be remembered. And if somebody were to describe you, what are the words that you would want them to use? And sometimes it's starting to be those things, but it's also understanding that they're also probably going to use some pretty powerful words. And so ask for three people in your life that you know and trust, and that will be honest with you, like, how would they describe you in three words? And just see if those are the things you want to be remembered by and for. And if so, then again, build these goals, build these habits to align with that. But if they're different than what you want, you still have time. We always have time. So, with this mission statement, using those couple things to kind of get it going, it's a matter of just writing it down is super important, because once you actually write something like this down, it looks and feels and sounds very different. And then read it out loud, not with judgment, but with affirmation and just this confirmation of who you are. But then you also have to understand that there's always opportunities to refine it and make sure it actually resonates with you, who you are now. If you set it so far out in the sense of how you want to sound, of who you are, what kind of impact you want to have, if you set it so far away from you and it doesn't sound like you, then it's not the right one. That's more of a vision statement. But a mission statement's like, here's who I am, here's the impact I want to have, and here's how I want to grow and become. Here are the goals I have. Here's the life I want to be living. Like, that's where we are right now. But we have to start now before we can move to the next spot. But then the next thing you have to do, creating the statement doesn't change your life. Living by your statement will change your life, change your habits. So really stop and think about how you can integrate this mission statement that you work on to guide your decisions, set goals, again, have conversations, develop the relationships that you have in your life, because then that is super important to think about. Oftentimes if we set goals that don't align with who we are, we're rarely going to be motivated to accomplish those goals. But sometimes that's not the best starting point, because sometimes we don't really recognize who we are because we're still beating ourselves up for who we've been in the past. So stop and think about who you are right now. And, if you set these goals and it creates discomfort, that's good. Now, if you set goals and they don't create any sort of discomfort or anything, I expect just my encouragement is to challenge yourself a little bit more. And so, just to give you a simple example of this isn't my current mission statement, but totally, again, I refine it from time to time, but it really is about, to putting it simply, it's to make the world a more grateful place and to choose grace over grudges. And, this quote really, this mission statement that I have here is to live a life of gratitude, grace, learning, and optimism, inspiring and empowering others to achieve their fullest potential while continuously growing and learning in all aspects of my life. That's a simple example of a mission statement for me that resonates with me because, again, gratitude, grace, learning, and optimism, inspiring and empowering others to live their best lives is something that it takes many different ways, many different shapes and forms. But it's something that inspires me every day to show up and bring out the best in people. Obviously, whenever I'm coaching people, that's really kind of the main goal is not to be the reason why they succeed, but to help them realize that they are the reason why they succeed in any area of their life. And so once you've kind of crafted that mission statement, again, you can utilize some of what what I shared with you, but it's really about setting, what do you do with it, right? And so, like I said, setting this or creating this mission statement doesn't change your life, but actually living by it will. And so, the first thing to do after you have this mission statement is set intentional goals, right? Get uncomfortable being uncomfortable, set some goals that make you more excited about becoming than being. Second thing is create daily habits, daily rituals that really kind of move you closer to living that way every day, not out of habit, but out of intention. Okay, there's kind of a big difference there. So if relationships is a core value, or if your health is a core value, like what things are you doing on a routine basis to start living the life you want to be living and live in alignment with who you want to be, but also who you are. And the next thing is to really practice this mindfulness, right? And so staying present in the moment, because again, check in with yourself on your mission statement, read it every day. It's a great way to start your day with intentional thoughts. But it's also really important to give yourself some grace if something changes in your life and you want to add something to it or take something from it. Just know that this is a kind of a working statement, if you will, working document. But the one of the most important things that again, the way my mission statement is unfolded in my life is kind of the way that it's been magnified the most is by the support system and the people I have around me. I'm not doing any of this alone. There may be days that I'm physically alone, but I'm never actually alone. And there's so much power in the people that we get to have around ourselves, and so choose people who choose you and seek out relationships in communities. Again, the closest relationships you have should be people that love you, trust you, or that you trust, that you care about. Again, all of this is mutual. They respect, but they want you to be your best. And sometimes that's you being called up. And so it may feel like called out, but from the right people, it's actually being called up. So again, this last one, like I said, this is something that's fair, right? Because if you set yourself a mission statement that feels like stress, that's not the right one. And so be willing to kind of reflect and adjust and make progress as you need to go. And, last week we talked about mid-year goals and kind of resolutions, or, kind of a mid-year check-in. And so this is this whole idea of being agile, not being rigid and being stuck. And so be flexible in how you accomplish your goals, but always remember why your goal matters to you and to the lives of the people you're the most grateful for. So as I wrap up here, just again, kind of recapping that, living with intention through this mission statement can really kind of transform your life. But it helps kind of find the sense of purpose and fulfillment in a day-to-day life. And so reflect on your strengths and your values and what mean the most to you and what kind of life you want to be living and how do you want to feel every day. And that's really important, is how do you feel every day? Like do a check-in on that. Are you feeling happy? Are you feeling stressed? I don't want to put words out there. I want you to kind of figure out how you're actually feeling. And that's why in the book, the first book I came out called Practice Gratitude, Find Joy, that 3-2-1 affirmation, or the 3-2-1 practice, is 3 things you're grateful for, 2 things you appreciate about yourself, and an I am statement. That I am statement is really the affirmation of how you're actually feeling. And so check in with yourself, and how is this mission statement showing up for you? And is it in alignment with who you want to be? And, even if it feels a little bit like who you want to be and a little bit less like who you are, that's okay. Just know that you can grow. You can set habits to accomplish whatever kind of life you want to be living. You are not stuck. And if you feel like you're stuck, just give yourself a second to realize that you're just choosing to stay in the same place. You're not stuck. And, when you start to create the life that you want to be living, it's super incredible in the sense of the meaning that you'll get in day-to-day life. You'll stop counting the costs. Effort will feel energy giving. And that's honestly the thing about the way that I get to live my life with the people that I love and I'm most grateful for is anytime I get to give effort, I get more energy. And so that's why I know that I'm aligned with who I am, with where I'm meant to be, and who I'm getting to spend my life with. And so I just encourage you to focus on your personal mission statement, whether you actually write it down or just think about it. Maybe it's a mantra, whatever words you want to use. But again, it's really a great catalyst to help you live your life with intention and inspire life that you are excited to wake up to. So as I wrap up here, just again, encourage you to invest in yourself, understand that you have the ability to learn and grow, and you can use this tool, a mission statement, to do that. And I encourage you to hit subscribe if you haven't yet. And whether you're watching on YouTube or you are listening on Spotify or iTunes, which are the 2 most common platforms that I get to see that people are listening on, just know that you're appreciated. Again, I encourage you to share this with your circle as well. And you never know when your thoughtfulness and kindness of sharing this with somebody may actually be the exact thing they needed to hear. So I appreciate all of you. I appreciate your support. And I will remind you, like I do on every episode, that you always have the power and the choice to reshape your mindset, live with intention, and look at the world through a grateful lens. Until the next episode, never stop.